Hi guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? It feels like lesson time. I kind of alluded to the fact that I would think I was going to do a lesson. Nobody really watched it though, so I deleted it. But I decided to do one anyway. So how you guys doing? I think a lesson would be good. If no one likes it, I can just delete this too. The magic of technology. So anyway, yeah, let's do a lesson. Hope you guys enjoy it. First of all, a few things before I get into it. Um, I think it's interesting that my main players have gone, my main influence at any given time, I think it just changed. And I think it just changed to Jimmy Page. I think Jimmy Page is like my guy right now. I think that's interesting because I keep regressing. First I progressed. I went from I went from liking Rush to then doing Jimi Hendrix, then Richie Blackmore, then Eddie Van Halen, and then Alan Holdsworth. That's progressing upward. But then I've gone down twice since then. I went to Randy Rhoads 39 years ago, and now below him, Jimmy Page. But that's really where I'm at. I really think Jimmy Page, I know how to shred. I can do that. But Jimmy has everything else. Jimmy plays great. I love his riffs. I love his attitude. There's no other guitarist alive, I think, that has kind of similar vibe to me. Really. He just has a similar vibe to me. We both are into the occult. I'm sure he has a tarot card deck or 2 or 3 or 10. So do I. He bought Aleister Crowley's house in the 80s. I just get a good vibe from him. I get a similarity vibe with him. And I love his riffs. I love the way he, I can fill in the gaps and play fast shreds in the middle that he might not do or can't do even. But I like everything. I like what he does. I like his attitude. I like his groove. I'm really digging Jimmy Page. He's my guy right now. And I haven't really been that convinced of anybody being my dude since Randy was my dude 39 years ago. And then and Jimmy Page is considered simpler than Randy, and Randy was simpler than Alan Holdsworth, who was before Randy. But go figure, right? I just love his vibe. I love his groove, and I just love his playing. I love Jimmy Page's playing. I love Led Zeppelin, or just for a while I enjoyed listening to Van Halen more than Led Zeppelin, and they were like, I had this kind of thought of, well, maybe Van Halen aren't as good, but I like watching them better. But at the end of the day, I like watching Led Zeppelin for some dumb reason. I really dig their vibe. Robert Plant versus Page, John Bonham, drummer, dude. Do you know Jimi Hendrix wanted John Bonham to join him as a drummer for the Experience, but John Bonham either wouldn't or couldn't at the time. And then John Paul Jones is cool. He lays down a great groove, So there's that little tidbit. I've got another trilogy planned. I never say what it is. I just do it. But thank you guys. Thank you guys that you guys seem to like my Shake trilogy. I put a lot of heart into that. I want to explain something. So I guess I'll try to explain it, because if I want to explain it, I think I might. I do check one thing every year, is my eyes, because I have 1 out of 2 genetic markers for age-related macular degeneration. So I check my eyes every year, and I just had my eyes checked this year, and they're fine. They're fine. But the eyes got dilated to do the test. To look in my eyes every year, they have to dilate them. And for some reason, that affected my groove, my energy, my vibe, even to date. Then the appointment was on Wednesday. This is already Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days later, it's still like in my brain or something that my eyes were dilated. But 2 cool things have happened to my playing in that interim. First of all, my alternate picking got upgraded, which is part of the reason I'm going to do this lesson. This lesson is an explanation of alternate picking too. You might think there's nothing to teach about that, but hold on, you might be wrong. Then again, you may be right. Yeah, I might be crazy, but no, Billy Joel song, right? But another thing happened with my memory of songs. Maybe I'm less nerdy about my memorization of the songs, but I play better groove with the song now since the eyes were dilated. Like I don't remember all the intricate chords, maybe any better, maybe not even as good of intricate songs, but I just better groove. For some reason, that the eyes being dilated just opened up my groove. For some reason, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not God, but something happened there. I groove better than I did before the eyes were dilated. What the heck is that? I don't know. I just have a better groove. Like I can play a simple song. I can do that all day. And before the eyes were dilated, I would struggle with that kind of thing. I would want to do it faster. I would be bored with it. I would get nervous about it. I would slug. And now none of that. Just love to groove. I can do it with the camera. Yeah, I can do that all day now. So I don't know what happened there, but magic sauce, right? I don't know. I've had my eyes dilated before. I've had my eyes checked. I check them once in a year. It's been more than a year since this last one because I couldn't make it over to the appointments in Escondido, and I had a hard time getting over there. So it almost took another year just to do that. So last year was about 2 years since they actually got dilated. But I can't figure it out. But I just have groove now. Go figure, right? So there's that. Anything else to talk about while I'm just talking? Anyway. I think that sums it up as far as just talking. Let's get into the lesson. Thank you so much for watching if you are. Now I'm going to do a lesson. It's going to be just a miscellaneous lesson, but let's talk about some technique as well. Let's do alternate picking technique. Now, some of you may roll your eyes and say, well, Jimmy has nothing to offer on this. Everybody knows what alternate picking is. Yes, you do. It's Googleable, and it's a thing. It's very well known. But there's a thing they don't talk about it, to me. It's your hand position, how you hold your hand. It makes a difference, and there are different options. The masters talk about this. Yngwie Malmsteen, he did a thing on young guitar where he talked about this. He gave me the hint to do this. Yngwie said that Yngwie likes to hold his hand on the bridge of the guitar when he picks. So he likes to go like this. He knocks his hand on the bridge full on. That's fine. It works for him. He likes it. But then there's another guy that I actually saw 2 clinics of, is Michelangelo Badio. He likes to put his 2 fingers on the bridge, so he's just barely touching the bridge. I mean, the bridge. I mean, the body of the guitar, where he's just like doing 2 fingers. So it's like he's just putting he's anchoring a couple fingers on the pick guard. And that it gives him more speed because he doesn't have his whole wrist on there. He just has 2 fingers. Okay, and then Yngwie spoke of, I got this from Yngwie. Yngwie spoke of the greatest alternate picker to me is Al Di Meola. Not really a rock player, but hey, he's an electric guitar player, at least partially, because he plays electric and acoustic. He has his hand completely free, is what Yngwie says. See that? The hand's not touching the bridge at all, or the body of the guitar. Turns out I like that the best. You go faster that way. Nothing's holding on. The only thing on the guitar is the arm, like the elbow. That's my favorite. You can't beat it for speed. The control's fine, just know where you're at. You could probably go faster, but I just woke up from a nap. I'm a little lazy. And that's how I play now. I do the other 2 also, and sometimes I put my hand on the bridge. you know, especially when I'm not playing fast, when I'm just playing like attitude. Of some of that, or maybe even the Michelangelo. When I'm playing fast, but not as fast as I really want, not as fast as I can, but just fast. When I want to go as fast as I can, I used to use a completely free wrist. My left hand can barely keep up, which is a good sign. You get a different tone with each of those choices too. You get a good, and I like the tone with the free hand. It's the only way of doing it that can really challenge my left hand to keep up with my picking, you know? The other way is my left hand is going too fast if it wants to. But with a free hand, my left hand goes as fast as it can, and the picking can actually keep up with the left hand. So I just like a free hand, like Al Di Meola. That's what I love now. So that's my alternate picking lesson. I know you all know what it is. It's just down, up, down, up. And there's the string crossing idea. Do you sweep across, or do you go outside the string picking and inside the string picking? That's whatever works for you. Nothing. There's no right or wrong there. It's just what works for you and what sound you like. It's a little different sound in each of the choices. If you go outside the string, it sounds different than sweeping. Or going upward. It sounds different if you sweep or go outside the string. You know? I don't know, whatever works. You know? Here I'll do it. Here I'm gonna do it where I go. Well, I don't want to change my playing to show you because I just want it to be natural. But I'm trying lately more to do the alternate picking, like Paul Gilbert with the outside and inside stringing. I'm starting to do that more. That's a good sound. I like that. Outside, inside, outside, down, lately, I don't like the sweeping across as much as I like the outside, inside, the string picking. There's the fanning. You put your fingers out like this. I sometimes do. I think it looks cute. You don't need to. It can be a fist too, but whatever. Anyway, that's my alternate picking. So yeah, it's just a style of how you hold your hand, and sometimes you don't even want an alternate pick. You want to do something more groover. So you're not picking fast, alternate picking all the time. And when you're not doing alternate picking, sometimes I find myself more holding my hand on the body of the guitar. Whereas when I'm really going fast, I lift it up from the guitar. So I want to thank you, Al Di Meola, for giving us an example of having your hand totally free, because it works for me. That's a run. Anyway, there's that. Now, here's another fun little thing I thought of. You know, I like to get inside the mind of Eddie Van Halen, and of course I don't know that I have or haven't, because I'm not God, I'm not him, and he's not even here with us. But I got a gist of what he might have been thinking the other day when I realized that I was watching Jimmy Page, just like Eddie was Eddie was watching Jimmy Page do Heartbreaker solo. That's when he thought of tapping back in the early 70s. I did the same process. I looked at Jimmy Page and I thought, wait a minute. Let's look at the guitar very simply. You have open strings. Open strings can be open. One famous guitarist, Frank Zappa, said he only likes open strings. He doesn't like the fret. In fact, Frank Zappa only thought of the guitar as open strings. He barely liked the fret. Well, but that's possible. That's cool. But he's Frank Zappa. He can think whatever he wants. Open strings. When you're thinking more string to string, and then frets on each string. And that's what you do. That's what you do. You have the lateral, which is the up and down motion. Maybe that's longitudinal. I don't know. Longitudinal. Yeah, longitudinal would be string to string, and then latitudinal is up each string with the fretting hand. And then, of course, why not use both hands? Why not have like this is the nut now, and now this is the tap. This is the left hand. But you also have the nut. But Eddie played a lot of open strings when he would play. He didn't always play way up here nasally like this. He would often use open strings. In Spanish Fly. A lot of open stuff for Eddie. I think that's the gist of what he was talking about. I'm not going to watch it and make sure I'm right about that or follow up or anything, but that's my gist of what Eddie was thinking. He just thought of open strings, longitudinal, and then latitudinal, up each string, combined, like two dimensions. You have this dimension and you have this dimension, and just play guitar. I mean, what else do you want, you know? That's my take on what I learned about that. I think I kind of got inside his head a little bit. That's what he was thinking when he first started tapping, was my idea. I'm close to thinking I would have invented tapping if he didn't, but of course I wasn't, and I didn't. Now, what else am I talking? I want to talk about tuning the guitar. I tune the bass strings lower than they should be, and I tune the treble strings sharper than they should be. So the bass strings are flatter than they should be. And the treble strings are sharper than they should be. You know, that you get more if you spread the range of the notes of the guitar out like a fan. Think of a fan as fanning the notes outward. It's able to sound. You sound better. You sound more in tune when you have more range to work with. Sharp high strings. The bass strings are too flat. It sounds good that way. Sure, it's not technically perfect on a oscilloscope or a guitar tuner, but I'm human. I can hear it, and I like to hear that sound. That's why I don't use tuners anymore. You know, I didn't, and then I did, and now I don't. You know? Just tune the sharp strings as sharp as you can without sounding terrible. Tune the bass strings as flat as you can without sounding terrible, and then you'll probably be pretty good in tune. Just make sure you're in tune to the piece or the band, and then you're good, you know? So, anything else? Lesson. I don't know. Know your arpeggios and know your music theory. If you want to, like when you do tapping, if you're gonna do Eddie style, there's Eddie style and there's Steve Vai style. Steve Vai style is more the scales. Whereas Eddie is more the arpeggios. Well, know both. And when you do Eddie's style, Make sure you know your harmony, so you can make up your own licks. Don't just do Eddie Van Halen licks. Everybody's heard those. Unless you're trying to do Eruption, and that's okay. Make up your own licks, but don't just copy Eddie. Make up your own, but you have to know theory to do that. Even Eddie Van Halen took piano lessons for 5 years. He doesn't talk about it a lot, but he did. He learned his piano theory, which is still music theory. He knew what the chords were, or he wouldn't have done what he did. So there's that, guys. Just know your arpeggios, know your theory, know your music theory. If you go to tap, you have good ideas. That you don't just sound like him, but you sound good. Okay, that's the trick. Don't sound like Eddie, but still sound good. Anything else while I'm here? I shouldn't forget anything. Anything else to teach here? Okay, I think it's good if you're going to use a slide like I now do. It was very advantageous of me that I know how to play with just 3 fingers, because that's what I grew up doing. Because that way, when I take a slide, I can play with 3 fingers. And then play the slide when I want to. But then when I play without the slide, I play with all 4 fingers. It's good for me that I was able to, that's how I learned. I learned with 3 fingers, then I learned the 4th finger. But I know how to play with just 3, which helps me when I'm playing with the slide. Or I can play with all 4 without the slide. That helps. I can't ask you to mimic that in your own playing, but it helps me that I can do that. So if you're going to use a slide, it's probably good to know how to play with 3 fingers only and all 4 fingers, both very well. So there's that. You don't want to be limited when you're not having the slide on your finger, and you want to be able to play with all 4 fingers. But when you have the slide on your finger, you don't want to be limited. You want to be able to play with just the 3 fingers you have left. You want to be able to do that. So that's a cool thing. Oh, the whammy bar. I almost forgot the whammy bar technique. Oh my gosh. The whammy bar technique is so cool. So everybody goes to scoop this. They always go like this. Everybody does it like that. I like to back it up. It sounds wilder and it looks cool. Rather than just going. That doesn't look as cool and doesn't sound as wild. I like it. Of course, there's they call it the Wiseman wind-up. Just don't lose the whammy bar. It's hard sometimes, but just don't lose the whammy bar from your hand. Recent whammy bar improvements in my playing. Use the whammy bar as a vibrato bar, like it sounds. enhancer. You don't just have to use your fingers to like, you can use the whammy bar. And I love it. I love using the whammy bar. Yeah, with slide, just play what sounds good. I don't know what to tell you. I just started doing slide myself, so it's not like I've been doing it for years because I haven't. But you know, and the whammy bar, and my alternate picking up grade. I just told you guys that I now play different positions with my hand deliberately. They give a different sound and they give a different speed of ability to play. Fastest being when your hand is totally free. Anything else while I'm at it? I tap with the second and third fingers. I don't do the pick switch back and forth. That's really clumsy. I would drop the pick every day. But I just keep the pick in these fingers between the first finger and the thumb and tap with the second and third finger. Fingers. I don't just use the middle finger either. Sometimes 2 fingers is good. The third finger and the second finger for crossing strings with tapping. You know, so I think that's cool. Got that from Steve I. Anything else while I'm here? Am I forgetting anything? Anyway, I love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.